Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is, well, what if Naruto had the strongest summoning animal out there? Part 2 and the end for this what if. Yes, I did mention that this was only going to be a two-parter. I was thinking of making it into a movie at one time, but I just didn't have time. So, of course, I just going to make it into a two-parter. A two-shot. One shot. Oh, you might not shut up. But let me first tell you to subscribe to Anime Sensei, Iconic What Ifs, and over to What Ifs. Link will be in the description. Second channel will also be there. But other than that, let me continue on where I last left it off. And no recaps because I did this yesterday, so I mean it is going to end the what if anyway. The what if is gonna end. I don't need to do a recap, so I don't care. Other than that, let me start now. So we go into Naruto. Naruto is still, 12 years old. He has white hair and has no whisker marks. His eyes are complete black like a duck. They're, yeah. Of course, he is wearing white robes and, gold at the same time, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where we go into Naruto just kind of chilling around the Mist Village. Of course, he did meet a girl with, purple hair. A girl with purple hair and black eyes. Of course, had multiple bandages, and of course, tried to run away from her captures and trying to, experiment on her. Of course, Naruto kind of met her by kind of just bumping into her, and of course, she thought that she was actually going to get attacked by Naruto until Naruto kind of gave her a hand. This is where, she's confused until her captors does run outside and sees Naruto. They try to attack Naruto until Naruto just swipes the air once and wind just blasts the air, crushing, the enemy. Kind of just cutting them into a million pieces, not crushing them, mostly cutting them. This is where Naruto says, pathetic. This is where Izuribi says, who are you? Naruto smiles at her, and this is where Naruto says, oh, the name is Naruto Uzumaki. This is where, Izuribi says, thank you. This is where Naruto says, yeah, you're welcome. So, do you have anywhere to go or not? Izuribi says, no, not really. Naruto says, then you can come with me to, what's it called? To my house. There's where you're gonna, not there's where you can live. You can just go anywhere. I'm not stopping you anyway. Besides, those skills of yours, I can heal them if that's what you want. This is where Izuribi says, wait, you can get rid of the scales? Wait, how did you even notice I had scales? Naruto says, oh, that's for me to, keep. And for you to try to find out. That's where Naruto, he kind of, takes off the bandages. Of course, right now, putting some white glow, like a white glow of light, and getting rid of, the scales. Not really getting rid of her transformation. When she jumps into water, scales will start growing back, and of course turning her into their, form. Naruto even said it to her, saying that he can't really get rid of the transformation. He can just get rid of the scales. This is where Izuribi smiles at Naruto and says thank you so much. She even hugs him. And of course Naruto says, yeah. Good luck in whatever you are going to do. This is where Izuribi says, oh, I'm going along with you. Is that okay, right? Naruto says, sure. Izuribi just follows Naruto along. This is where Naruto, he does meet other people in different islands, kind of getting attacked by, Orochimaru's lackeys. This is where mostly there's scientists, and mostly Naruto finds all of them and rips them to shreds. He finds, a kid with dark blue hair and dark blue eyes getting attacked. This kid was actually younger than Naruto, being only 8 years old. This is where Naruto says, hey kid, are you okay? This is where the dark blue hair kid kind of looks at Naruto confusedly, but then says, I think so. So where he says, I think so. I don't really know. This is where Naruto kind of give him his hand and says, what's your name, kid? This is where, the kid says, the name's Shinkai, I think. This is where Naruto says, "Well, Shinkai, um, do you want to follow along me, or are you going to just stay here and go back to the smallest village next to this island?" This is where Shinkai says, for saving me, I'll follow you." This is where he sees Izuribi and kind of just waves at her kindly. He just doesn't know much. Of course, Izuribi does kind of wave at him and just smiles at him. Of course, Naruto did also meet another kid, but this kid had dark green hair and dark green eyes. Now, of course, he was able to use a vine style, a very rare kind of off-brand of wood style. Naruto notices and kind of helped the kid control his vines before he actually went berserk again. Because this kid was kind of killing the laboratory experiments to try to experiment on him. Of course, he was killing them with vine style. He was going berserk until Naruto knocked him out. Naruto actually helped this kid control his vine style. Now, of course, this kid's name is, his name is Bonono Ki. And of course, Kasu. His name is Kasu. Of course, this is where, he's able to use vines. Of course, this is where the other kid named Shinkai is able to use water, but a different color, like a deep sea blue color. Of course, they are both kind of following along Naruto. Now, the Kasu is actually 9 years, not 9 years old. He's actually 7.5, a little bit younger than Shinkai. But Shinkai and Kasu does kind of become best friends. Of course, this is where Naruto does help other people that are in trouble in the Mist Village. Or not in the Mist Village, around the Mist Village Islands. Kind of freeing them from people that try to take over their village or whatever. But yeah, Naruto helped this one kind of larger village. It was actually just larger than being smaller. It was one of the kind of bigger islands than around the Mist Village. It was a bigger island. Of course, Naruto kind of gets onto it, and of course, he meets a tyrant. This tyrant is very greedy, and of course, Naruto gets reminded of Gato, that disgusting pig that he remembers. Of course, the same thing about the pig getting slaughtered like Zabuza. Now, Naruto did take the executioner blade from the Wave village because he kind of wanted to be reminded of like Zabuza's kind of explainment on world. Now, of course, is where this kind of greedy person was named Jabin. I'm calling him Jabin, the tyrant. This is where this tyrant had a group of bandits and even rogue ninjas under his thumb, kind of controlling this small village. Now, Naruto saw that there were so many bandits, thugs, and even rogue ninjas. Now, the rogue ninjas were only up to being like A to even B and maybe 1 S in their ranks. And Naruto saw this. Now, Naruto's already was called ranked up S rank missing ninja from Konoha. So of course he doesn't really care about another S rank him fighting him. But of course, this is where Naruto, he does go into the village. Now, of course, he sees a red-haired girl kind of getting her hair picked up by a ninja and also a bandit. Of course, her eyes were full of lust. But of course, there was another girl behind her about to kind of, her clothes were being ripped off from the other ninjas and being with her eyes lustful. That's where Naruto got disgusted and of course appeared right next to both of them. But mostly not next to both of them, mostly next to the rogue ninjas and even the bandits. And he obliterates them all by kind of just saying light style, light beam tractor. That's where these light beams appear from Naruto and kind of just spread around Naruto, hitting the rogue ninjas and even the bandits. That's where the two girls kind of got scared and of course just hugged each other. And this is where one girl says, Zayana Uzumaki, are you okay? This is where the other girl says, Savannah, are you okay? So one girl had brown hair and bluish eyes. Of course, the other girl had, red hair and, purple eyes. This is where Naruto says, are you two okay? This is where they get scared, but they see this boy around the same age as them. A little bit older or a little bit younger, they can't really tell. Naruto says, hmm? What are you looking at? Naruto's eyes, I should mention, has actually changed from crystallized sky blue color to a night, to a not midnight, yeah, midnight eye color of like the sky. This is where Naruto says, is something wrong with my eyes? This is where, well, they say no, but of course they're right now flustered because they've never seen someone so good looking in this village. This is where Naruto's hair also does like make people kind of fall in love with him because his hair is just purely white. This is where Naruto also does wear clothes, and he's also pretty tall for being 12 years old. He's 5'6". This is where Naruto's like, okay. That's where he talks to both of them by also creating clothes in midair and kind of giving them those clothes and also telling them what's happening here in this village. They say that someone named Giovanno, who's actually a tyrant in this village right now, controlling it with rogue, with bandits, and even thug ninjas and another. Kind of mostly rogue ninjas, thugs, and bandits, kind of controlling this village and kind of draining it all from its resources. That's where Naruto not. That's where Naruto says, I see indeed. This is where Shinkai and what's called Kusu kind of already defeated some ninjas and even some bandits by using their vines and even water style. Shinkai actually learned some jutsus from Naruto, like high pressure water style, or even water gun or water bullets. Of course, this is where Kazu, he doesn't really get any jutsus because Naruto can't really teach him any jutsus. Instead, Kazu had to learn by his own learn some styles. Of course, Naruto did teach him about earth style and even water style to see if he has any infinities of that. And of course, he does. So, of course, this is where Itsurugi already took out some of the ninjas, the bandits, and even thugs that were on like the dock by just drowning them. But yeah. Of course, Izuribe doesn't really have any care when she drowns a human being. She doesn't even mind killing them. Of course, Shinkai and even Kazu doesn't really care about killing people, because they will follow Naruto to the very end for saving them. Of course, this is where Naruto says, I see. This is where Naruto, he says, summoning style. He summons something out from his palm, like a cylinder ray appear like right in the sky, and poofed out, well, a duck. Quack, 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 quack. This is where Naruto looks at the duck. And this duck is kind of like a small duck. Of course, he has just white feathers, yellow beak, and, well, black eyes. This is not the duck leader, but of course, this duck says, hello there, Naruto-sama. This is where Naruto looks at the duck. And this is where Naruto says, hello there, duck-sama. Do you mind being able to look all the way at the top of, well, that building? He looks at the biggest building. This is where the duck nodded and does fly up. This is where, well, both girls thought it was actually adorable to see a duck, but they have never seen a summoning animal like a duck. This is where the duck flies very fast up to like the tower, looks in it and sees this fat, jolly man who is right now, well, having lustful eyes but also greedy eyes in his face, and of course is looking outside the window. Of course, he's the duck, but he doesn't really pay attention to the duck because he just thinks it's a harmless duck. He just doesn't care. This is where the duck flies back down and tells Naruto that he sees a fat, jolly man who is right now having greedy eyes and lustful eyes in his, well, eyes. This is where Naruto says, I see. Then I guess that is Jabo. This is where, well, he does give Naruto a more detailed, details on this man. Has short black hair, looks like he's about to become bald. Of course, has a cane, like a black cane. And of course, has one arm kind of broken because it has bandages. Has another arm with a black, kind of like black fingerless gloves. He has, well, a black mustache and a black beard. And of course, this is where he has a hat. Now, so what the guy kind of looks like, it looks like this dude. I remember him basically since I just forgot about him, but I did remember him. He was like that one guy that was someone like taking over a village, someone a little bit, but yeah. It took me a long ass time to kind of find him because I forgot about what he kind of looked like. But yeah, he kind of looked like that. And of course, Naruto, he looks, he kind of gets details from the duck. And of course, he tells the duck to sit still. Of course, the duck can just be next to Naruto. He doesn't really mind the duck's presence. He won't even dispel the duck. He can just tell the duck to do whatever then. And what the duck does is by just sits on, well, the Uzumaki girl's head, and of course his sister. This is where the Uzumaki girl is just very excited and saying the duck is so cute. And this is where both girls are kind of saying, oh, the duck, duck, duck. And of course Naruto is chuckling to himself. But this is where Naruto, he says, okay, thank you. This is where the duck nodded. And this is where Naruto, he disappears in a blinding speed. This is where Naruto appears right in front of the gate, sees multiple, well, bandits and thugs kind of just like attacking people, and Naruto blitzes through them by turning to light and appearing right in front of the gate. This is where Naruto snapped his fingers, and this is where multiple of the bandits and even thugs died in an instant. It seems like their souls were ripped out of them so fast, but without even knowing. This is where Naruto, he throws all the souls away, and of course all of them kind of just goes to the underneath the world. But yeah, Naruto actually learned so many techniques from the duck, what's it called, summoning, contract, that he also did learn from the duck leader. But yeah, he found out that the ducks are actually beings that are so powerful that they were actually created before the world, or before the entire like universe was actually built, like before the Big Bang was actually born. They are actually what's it called okay, let me say that again. They are actually omnipotent beings that are actually, well, they were created from, well, the actual creation of all beings. They were actually created more powerful than most beings entirely. This is where Naruto is just learning a little bit about more of their history. Now, of course, Naruto, he actually got told by the duck leader that the duck leader is not actually the most powerful out of his entire clan. Instead, there's one more, or well, a couple more, mostly 10 more, that are actually stronger than him. But Naruto will get to find out who they are in the near future. Instead, Naruto, he already did find out that the duck leader is actually a being full of, well, able to use light, darkness, and even, well, kind of, how should I say? He can use light and darkness at the same time. This is where Naruto nodded, and of course, did just go on. Of course, he found out that the baby duck can actually use gold and silver because the duck, the baby duck does have a silver beak instead of having a yellow one, a golden one. And of course, his, well, feathers are actually gold. But yeah. So Naruto's able to use gold and silver and of course darkness and light. But of course with the darkness actually comes to be somewhat like the Shinigami, taking people's souls pretty easily by using darkness itself. This is where Naruto, he goes through the whole building, ripping out bandits, thugs, and even rogue ninjas, easily killing them with darkness spikes, stabbing through them, even using light beam attacks to shoot them at them. Of course, what it looks like what's it called? What is that one dude from who's an admiral that kind of uses light and kind of talks very slow. That guy, but Naruto doesn't talk slow, so yeah. Naruto is right now easily defeating so many people, even doing like a light, what's called a light attack where he swipes the air with only 2 fingers, and a light slice attack actually appears, cutting multiple people. Naruto appears into the, well, all the way on top of the building. Mostly not on top of the building, just at the highest level. That's where Naruto meets, well, the mob boss, but also meets an S-rank ninja. This S-rank ninja is strength in what's it called Earth Jutsu. This is where the S-rank ninja says, Earth style, domain of, what's it called, the Earth gods, the moles. This is where a mole actually appears, like a big ass mole appears, that's made out of earth trying to kill Naruto. This is where Naruto smacks it away by just kicking it once. This is where Naruto appears next to the S-rank ninja, grabbing him from the face and just crushing it. This is where the man dies. This is where the mob boss says, what do you want? Do you want women? Do you want this? Do you want money? Please don't kill me. Naruto says, too late for that. Naruto, he gets something out of thin air. Creates something actually out of thin air. Darkness and light appears in thin air, becoming a spear. And then this is where Naruto, he throws the spear straight at the mob boss, hitting him right in the head. This is where, well, when he gets hit in the head, the whole building exploded with how much power that spear had. This is where, well, it hits, well, below, and of course did kill another ninja that was trying to flee. Of course, this is where the ninja was trying to flee, but then saw Izuribi and tried to attack him. But of course, well, not attack him, but the attacker. This is where, well, before he even gets a chance, the spear appears, hitting him right in the heart and stabbing him to the ground and dying. This is where Izuribi turns around and sees that light and darkness spear, but of course it like dissipates and kind of disappears. This is where Naruto appears, saying that he kind of like screams out into the village saying that the Gato man is dead, or not Gato, that Joven is dead, and of course your village is free. This is where everyone is cheering. They seen that Joven is actually dead because his head is right now has a giant hole, and there's no way in hell you can survive that unless you're the fucking Reverse Flash and somehow uses the Speed Force. Yes, I saw that one clip. I forgot about that, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, Naruto, we go back into Naruto, sorry. I kind of got distracted, but yeah. We go back into Naruto, kind of just talking to some people, and some people actually want Naruto to become the leader, which Naruto does. Even though Naruto doesn't really care about being the leader that much. He then really thought that, yeah, he should probably be the leader of this place. So of course, this is where Naruto becomes the leader of the Suma Island. Of course, this is where, well, he becomes the leader for about 5 years. Naruto, we now go into Naruto for 5 years. Naruto is now, well, 17 years old. I should also mention that he is 6'3". No, well, not 6'3", he's actually 6'5". He's pretty damn tall. Izuribi is actually also 17, and well, she is 6'9". Well, not 6'9". No, not 6'9". Oops. She is like 5'11", but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, the Uzumaki named Zayana and the girl who had kind of like lightish brown hair and blue eyes. Well, her name is Sayana. Yeah, Zayana and Sayana. Of course, this is where they're actually twins, and Naruto didn't believe it, but of course they both have the last name Uzumaki, and they do have the Uzumaki gene. It's just, well, they are kind of different. Now, of course, this is where, well, they are 17, and they're actually, what, 6, what's it called? Not 6. They're only like 5'9", but yeah. They're almost the same height as, well, Izuribi, but yeah, not much. This is where, well, Shinkai and, well, Kusan, they actually become, well, what's it called? Shinkai becomes 13, while Kusan does become 12.5 years old, but yeah. Of course, they're actually way stronger, and of course, I should have mentioned how, what's it called, tall Shinkai was. I'm gonna mention that he is actually, what's it called, 5'1" for only being 13, and Kusan is actually, well, 5 feet. So yeah. Of course, Naruto does become somewhat the leader of this place, and actually does rename this place, because it doesn't really have a name, to Duck Island, because there's multiple ducks all around the village that actually protects the people. So yeah. This is where, well, Naruto has met the 10 beings of, well, the Duck Clan. and he has met the most strongest, powerful duck out of all of them. This duck actually can go through different universes, multiple universes entirely different from this Naruto's world. He actually has met an actual being, and this kind of galaxy duck, we go into a POV of when he met someone who was actually, not even stronger than him. This duck was actually stronger than the being he met. It was a Naruto, but this Naruto version was all galaxy. It was a Galaxy KCM, Galaxy KCM version. This was Protector Naruto, and this Protector Naruto really was confused with the duck, but then the duck really didn't like Protector Naruto much, because Protector Naruto is mostly trying to change the future from other universes, and this galaxy kind of path duck, who's actually the strongest, omnipotent duck, who's truly stronger than any of the other ducks, of course doesn't like Protector Naruto, because Protector Naruto is not really protecting universes. He's supposed to be protecting them, not trying to change the universes from the villain side. Because Protector Naruto has just been going on to trying to stop the future, or even the beginning of evil path Naruto's. Protector Naruto did try to do that, but mostly every time he tries to do it, a being with a darkness cloak and of course a white mask appears, stopping him. Mostly getting rid of, kicking the shit out of Protector Naruto, or even another being who is actually a God Slayer. Actually can easily defeat Protector Naruto, but he doesn't really use that much power. And this is not really another Naruto. It's just me being a God Slayer, and really don't like Protector Naruto because he's really not what he's kind of stands for. So of course I did kind of defeat Protector Naruto, because Protector Naruto was trying to stop me from sending another villain into the My Hero Academia universe, but this villain was already from the My Hero Academia universe and had such a powerful quirk. Of course, it wasn't Deku. I'm mentioned there's actually a what if I'm actually thinking of doing for My Hero Academia, but it's not going to be a Deku what if. No. It's not the main character. No. It's someone else that I have in mind. But no, it's not Bakugo. It's none of the hero ones if you're thinking. I know that half of you motherfuckers are thinking that. It's none of those. So fuck your shit with heroes. It's about the villains time. But not the point. What's it called? Of course, this is where, I was doing something with that until Protector Naruto tried to attack me, and the duck that was actually kind of traveling the universes kind of saw this, but of course I blew the shit out of Protector Naruto into another universe, and there see the duck. This is where I walk up to the duck and kind of pet it in the head, and kind of just say, what an adorable little duck you are. I can see that you're very powerful. Do you mind fighting that Protector Naruto for a second and kicking the shit of it? Right now I'm doing something. This is where the duck just kind of quacked and nodded, and this is where he goes into another dimension to fight against Protector Naruto, beating the living crap out of Protector Naruto, almost making him being a race. This is where, the Protector Naruto disappears, but yeah, he almost gets erased by, this powerful being that's a duck. Now, of course, this is where Naruto has met this duck, and we go back into this duck. This duck is like a galaxy color. Of course, has a blue beak, has blue flippers, and of course, its feathers are full of just galaxies. It has every single galaxy in it, every universe that's in what's called, duck, the stars and all them other things. So yeah, Naruto is able to actually control space, time, and other things from other, different ducks, from the 10 other ducks. From the first duck, he can also control some abilities from that duck. But yeah. So where, we go into, something happening into the world. Something that Naruto really didn't pay attention, didn't really care. This is where the Great Alliance Shinobi world is actually happening, fighting against Madara itself. Now, of course, the Akashi still kind of died slowly, but of course, this time they will try to grab Gaara. They did it without easiness. They did it with easiness. Like, Naruto wasn't there to stop them or try to. But yeah, Gaara's dead. Other people are dead because Naruto didn't meet them and didn't really care. And of course, the Nine Tails, well, the Akashis doesn't know where the fuck Naruto is, and they actually has not even tried to go into Duck Country. Realize one thing, because the Akashis get their ass beat easily by ducks. Which, it sounds stupid, but of course, it's where some of the Akashi members kind of lie and say they kind of got their ass kicked by like a dragon. They ain't fighting that. They say, fuck that. But yeah, they kind of lied and they don't want to mention that they got their ass kicked by a duck. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, they are fighting, well, Madara's right now having Jubi out, and yeah, of course, Naruto does see, well, sense of Jubi's power. Madara is right now in, well, the Sage of Six Path power out. This is where, well, Obito is also in the Sage of Six Path power, mostly in the Jubi power, but yeah. Of course, everyone is right now trying to defeat the, well, powerful foes, but Tsunade is still kind of the legendary, well, not, yeah, she is still the Kage. Hiruzen is still alive, of course, trying to kick and fight, but yeah, even though he's very old, he's not the Edo Tensei. Of course, Orochimaru cannot resurrect the other, what's it called, the first, second, third, no, he hasn't resurrected those because Orochimaru's dead, Kabuto's dead, and yeah. This is where, well, Obito managed to bring out Madara. Of course, the Akashis are still alive in this, and of course are right now fighting against all of the Shinobi Alliance. But yeah, of course, Madara is saying it's time for the perfect Tsukiyomi. This is where Black Zetsu is really wanting to betray, well, Madara, which he does. Of course, Obito tried to stop Black Zetsu. Of course, this is where Kage appears. This is where she absorbs the Jubi from Obito, killing him. And of course, this is where she says, it's time for the Edo Tensei. This is where, well, not the Edo. I fucked that up. No, the infamous Tsukiyomi. Not the Edo Tensei. She says, it's time for the infamous Tsukiyomi. This is where Black Zetsu says, yes, mother, let's do it. But something stopped everything. Naruto, who is right now going straight to the war, seeing all the alliance right now kind of be afraid and actually got defeated. Tsunade is there trying to get up, but she's really hurt. And this is where, well, Black Zetsu says, mother, what is wrong? This is where Kaguya, her face, became a twisted fear in her face. She feels this immense power, just so much terrifying, just strong, terrifying amount of power going straight towards her. This is where, well, someone appeared right in front of her. This is where this boy had, well, white, like, so, well, not white hair, mostly like pure white hair. His eyes were black as the midnight sky. This is where his body did look like he had angel wings, like 6 angel wings entirely. But of course, they're mostly like the kind of wings that he gets from the Sage Mode. Of course, he has into a perfection masterful Sage Mode. But of course, these 6 wings are all different colors. They're not just a pure white. They're a galaxy time color. This is where black, white, a bunch of elements together in one wing, and then another one had a bunch of universes in one. This is where, well, Naruto's eyes are just pure black of the midnight and all that. And of course, this is where, well, he did have a, well, what's it called? He didn't have a yellow beak, but of course, this is where Naruto, he appeared, well, having this kind of very, very strong aura around him. It was so powerful that Kaguya feared it. This aura was not just purely white. It had this universal power inside it. This is where, well, Naruto, he has next to him is actually the strongest duck out of all the 10. This duck is actually called the universal, well, the true, well, not the true universal, the universal creation duck. This duck is the one to kind of fight against protecting Naruto, beat his ass super easily. And of course, even kind of, well, was the first being to be created from the first creation god. That's where Naruto, he's looking at Kaguya. That's where Naruto kicks Kaguya so hard in the head, smashing her across so many, what's it called, around the world, and then smashing her into the battlefield. That's where multiple people are shocked. They say, is that an angel? This is where people are thinking that this is an angel sent from heaven to fight against this destructive being. This is where the duck just quacks once, the universal duck just quacks once, and this is where, well, the Jubi that was inside of, well, Kaguya gets ripped out of her. This is where Kaguya's power just drops down, all the way down back to where her kind of just Uzutsuki power. This is where, well, Black Sister says, Mother, are you okay? This is where the Jubi's power goes straight to Naruto. Naruto grabs the Jubi orb, and this is where people think that he's gonna use it for bad, but Naruto just crushes it in his hand, destroying the Jubi entirely. This is where, well, Naruto also got rid of chakra. When he just, well, not really gets rid of chakra, not really, no. He crushes the orb, crushing the Jubi and all the tail beasts. He gets rid of them. This is where Naruto looks at Kaguya with nothing on his face. This is where Naruto says in a voice that sounds echoey and deep at the same time, So you must be Kaguya Utsutsuki. Mostly the queen, the queen married to the king of Utsutsukis. Someone that abandoned the Utsutsuki race. After this, I'm going to get rid of all Utsutsukins entirely. Starting with you, starting with the one on the moon, starting the one with his far away, and right now in hidden base, is starting with that place called Utsutsuki Empire. After this, I will get rid of all of them and make this whole galaxy a better place. This is where, well, Kaguya says, You thought that you can defeat me? Black Sister says, Mother, what do we do? This is where Kaguya is thinking to just teleport into another dimension. But she doesn't have, well, she does have a what's it called? The Renegon, the red Renegon, the running Sharingan. And of course, she was thinking of trapping Naruto, but Naruto appears right in front of her, ripping that Sharingan out, or mostly the running Sharingan out, crushing it in his hand. Now, she mentioned Sasuke is dead. So yeah, he died like a while ago, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Hagoromo could not bring, what's it called, Sasuke back, because, well, he did bring Sasuke back, it's just Sasuke got destroyed because he didn't have Naruto to help him out with the Ashura. No, Naruto was not dead, and of course, he didn't really care about the whole war. Right now, he's doing something that would change the war entirely. He said, After your eye is gone, your most powerful eye is gone, I will now destroy you, you pathetic bitch. This is where Kaguya widened her eyes and then says, Please, no. This is where Black Sister jumped out of Kaguya's sleep and trying to kill Naruto. Naruto grabs Black Sister and kind of just erases him entirely. Like this white particle appears all around Black Sister, erasing him. This is where Naruto appears right in front of Kaguya. And this is where Naruto says, Be gone. This is where Naruto slaps the shit out of her, erasing her from existence. Just slapping the air and erasing her already. This is where she gets obliterated. This is where Naruto says, Now it's time for the other one. Naruto appears right next to Ishiki. This is where Ishiki widened his eyes and see this being and erased him in an instant, obliterating him and obliterating his goddamn organization before it even gets started. This is where Naruto appears, well, on top of, well, the other Utsutsukis that were kind of near planet Earth. Urashiki, Momoshiki, and Kimishiki. They get obliterated in an instant. Of course, Naruto sees Tomura and destroys him in an instant before he even starts his plan. Naruto then flies so fast into the universe with the universal duck still clutching onto Naruto, and of course appearing right in front of the Utsutsuki Empire, sending this small ball of energy, just small light ball of energy. But this has 100% of Naruto's truly power. That's why Naruto tosses it towards the multi Utsutsuki Empire, and this is where it gets close. It just floats towards it, and when it gets close, it starts expanding, turning into pure light, obliterating the Utsutsuki Empire entirely. The Utsutsuki King was killed. The Utsutsukis were erased from existence, from ever existing in the first place. This is where Naruto he gets back to planet Earth, and this is where Naruto knows that humans are going to keep doing stupid things. So of course this is where Naruto does something. Naruto absorbs all the chakra from the 5 great nations. Every single chakra, all jutsus and like water natures and all that were being absorbed into this blue orb. People, they stand up, of course, perfectly fine, but they have only the small amount of chakra just to live. They don't have any more, like to use jutsus or fight anything. Naruto has it all into this small ball. This is where Naruto grabs it and just absorbs all of it. This is where Naruto gets all the knowledge. Now, in his country will be the only country to have chakra. But of course, anyone else outside of his country will not have any of it. His country will be called, gods amongst this world. And of course, this is where Naruto says, he goes onto the ground and says, you people do not have any more chakra. You people are purely just normal human beings, no longer ninjas. Instead, my country will be the only one with chakra. My country, the Duck Empire, will be the only country with chakra, power, and everything. While your country, 5 great nations, will no longer have any chakra. This is where the Shinobi Alliance still tried to attack Naruto, but a good chunk of the, ninjas gets obliterated. And of course, we fast forward into, 10 years. Naruto is now 27. Of course, he is having pure white hair, and of course, this is where a kid jumps on him that has purely white hair. But of course, has also purple hair in his head, like a lightish purple hair. That's where another 2 kids jump on him, and of course, this is where one has like kind of lightish pink hair, like very bright pink hair, like if it was white mixed with red. Of course, her eyes are like a lightish purple, kind of black, like darker purple. Of course, this is where another kid jumps on, and this kid is having kind of very lightish brownish hair, has very dark blue eyes, and the last kid that I mentioned has purely white hair, but had like what's called highlights of purple. He also had very dark eyes, very black, like the midnight sky. Of course, these are actually the children of Naruto, with Izuribi, the Uzumaki, and even the other Uzumaki. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where Naruto, he now has these kids, and of course they are actually not way stronger than him. They just have to train in the duck art to become very strong. Of course, there are all kind of different ages, but yeah. Mostly they are similar age. They're somewhere around the same age, but yeah. Of course, where Kazu and Shinkai, they became way older. So one is 23 and has already a wife, and the other is like 22 and of course has his own wife, but yeah. And has his own kids, but yeah. This is where, the world is a different place from 10 years ago. Naruto in his island is called the Duck Empire, and they are actually called like celestial beings of this world, because no one else can stop them, can stand against them. This place is the only place to have chakra. The other places that were supposed to have chakra has no longer chakra. The 5 great nations are just disbanded and actually just became under the rule of the Duck Empire. This is where Naruto, he smiles, and of course is where he's happy with his life. But this is the end of this what if. Yes, I told you that this what if was going to end, and I had an idea for it, but yeah. Of course, at the end of What If Naruto had the strongest summoning animal in the entire world. Yeah, entire universe, galaxy, whatever you would like to say. But of course, I should mention one thing. You might think that this is sad for me just to end in two parts, but of course, I should mention that I'm going to do more dumber what ifs than normal. Let me tell you. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So this person, whatever his goddamn name is, he says, "Can you do a what if Naruto was Florida Man?" Which I am going to do after this what if, maybe. And of course, Sun Jin Woon did tell me, what if Naruto was Roadman? And if you don't know who Roadman is this dude, and I just remember who this guy is. But yeah, other than that. Those two what ifs I might be doing in the near future. But other than that, that's all that's the end of this what if. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and bye. Potato. Or should I say duck night. Duck day. Well, I'm just gonna go. But yeah, duck says bye. Quack. Quack.